when you try to start conversations with passive and even active candidates, they will raise a range of objections. So there are 6 steps you should follow with objection handling. Hey, and welcome back. My name is Preston. I'm a professional recruiter in the technology industry. Today, I'll cover what objection handling is and the best way to overcome it with candidates. If you are as excited as I am to learn and get started, feel free to support a fellow recruiter. Give us a like, subscribe, click that bell. It really means a lot. So what is objection handling and how do you handle it? A passive candidate is a person who isn't actively looking for new employment, yet 92% of passive candidates are open to discussing and considering a new employment opportunity. So when you try to start conversations with passive and even active candidates about job openings at your company, they will raise a range of objections. A recruiter needs to have the ability to address and manage prospects' objections, to overcome them, and use them to push the conversation in the recruiter's preferred direction. This is known as objection handling. So there are 6 steps you should follow with objection handling. Listen to them the way you want them to listen to you. This is really important so you know which concerns you need to address properly. People want to feel heard, which keeps the conversation going in the right direction. Recognize the critique. This should be a sentence that acknowledges that you understand the situation. There aren't any questions yet, as you can see. Try saying something like, quote, "I recognize that must have been a challenging circumstance for you." Or, quote, "I'm sorry you went through it." One of the essential communication skills that recruiters must learn is empathy. This step aims to show your candidates that you understand their feelings and worries. This shows the candidates that you understand what they are saying, which makes them feel like you got them. Before you offer a counterpoint or ask a question, connect with the person and show that you understand. This will help you change the way the person sees the negative situation. For example, you could say, quote, "John, I'm glad you told me how you feel about your concerns about the salary and benefits. I would feel the same way if I were you. I want to know more about what you're concerned about in terms of salary and benefits," end quote. If you acknowledge a candidate's objections first, it will be easier for you to answer it. By asking the candidate how they see the situation, you can avoid speculating, find out more, and stand out as a recruiter who listens and cares. This will also help you say something convincing and credible in your answer. Be specific and ask open-ended questions. So after expressing your appreciation for their input and calming the situation down, you can use direct questions to get to the source of the issue. At this point, try to steer clear of closed questions because you want to engage them in dialogue rather than just getting a yes, no, or a few words in response. The goal here is to identify problems you can remedy later on and thoroughly grasp the objection. You'll be able to develop a relevant and effective rebuttal to the objection if you first listen to the candidate's concerns and then ask clarifying in-depth questions to understand the underlying problem and actual motive behind the objection. For instance, your candidate might state, quote, "This offer is not as enticing as the counteroffer I received," end quote. No matter how technically competent you are to handle this, your response won't be as precise and on point as it could be if you don't grasp what the candidate actually means. You must uncover the issue by asking clear, revealing, and probing questions. You could say something like, quote, "Please share with me why your other offer is more appealing," end quote, as an example. Be reassuring. You want to summarize what they have said to you, highlighting the most critical needs or issues they've addressed in their answers. Now present. You're only now trying to resolve the objection. Using a hypothetical example is crucial when using the third person. For example, aim to use examples like, quote, "How beneficial would it have been if an expert had done X," end quote, or, quote, "Would a consultant doing Y for you actually be beneficial," end quote. Time to close. The goal is to get a yes to your question. You can now continue the chat and determine whether you can actually assist the candidate. Examples on how to respond. So let's review some of the most common objections and what you can say in response to them. Scenario 1. Now is not the best time because I'm in the middle of developing a new software application or even other projects or businesses. What you should do. Accept this remark with positivity. What is there not to respect about someone who refuses to give up on a project in the middle of it? Assure them that you appreciate their choice and that they represent the type of employee you want to hire for your team and for the company that you work at. Keep the discussion going. You want to ask about their project's nature, anticipated completion date, and positive aspects. Use whatever you can to discover to sway the conversation towards the possibility of them working with your organization, open jobs, or clients, and how those projects might be more intriguing and significant and beneficial to their portfolio or background or experience. Make sure you're not condescending of their work. Instead, use a little psychology to pique their curiosity and let them determine whether they find your jobs more compelling. While you explain your company's demands, open jobs to them, apply everything you have learned to make it sound like their ideal job. This is not to say that you should say your project is more exciting than others, etc. Request networking and referral opportunities. Good talent are familiar with other good talent. Often, their circle of friends and business partners may have similar skills due to their networking. So if you get a really strong recommendation or develop a relationship with an applicant, you can follow up with them in a few months when they're prepared to start something new. In either case, you have some promising options. Scenario 2. I like it here, or I'm really not searching for a new job right now. What you should do. Many job candidates are attempting to get you off the phone because they're busy when they claim they aren't looking for a new job. Tell them that it's fantastic, that they're comfortable in their current position, and that a happy worker is precisely the kind of worker you're searching to hire. After that, change the topic. Use the information you've just acquired to make your business or open jobs for your clients seem even more appealing than other options out there. Ask them about their company, including what they appreciate, why they like working there, and what aspects of their job that they love the most. Saying something like, quote, "That is great," is an example of what you could say. At X company, we put a lot of effort into ensuring that our workers are content with their work, and just like any other business, we want employees who are pleased to work for us. What do you enjoy about your current place of employment, end quote. Once the topic has been introduced, you can then move the conversation to, quote, "You sound like the ideal candidate we are searching for, ... end quote. Scenario 3. I don't like what I've heard about your agency or your business. What you should do. Now, these might sound like fighting or confrontational words, and you're right. Now is your chance to fight for this candidate to join your team or to open jobs for your clients. Share your plans for a business makeover and how you intend to hire the top candidates and really creating an excellent internal culture. If your organization has had negative media coverage, bad reviews, ratings, or has a weak or non-existent employer brand, take advantage of this to appeal to the candidate's reassurance in his or her abilities to advance your company's reputation and public image. Recognize the candidate's worries, work with your marketing, PR, or HR people team, or all three, in advance to develop an action plan and carefully worded language to soothe candidates' anxieties if your organization has a bad reputation. You want to make sure you're non-defensive and open. Be as honest as possible. Complete honesty on your part will help you prevent any surprises and bitterness later on in the relationship. Some candidates enjoy the opportunities to contribute to positive change. Scenario 4. I recently started this job. What you should do. Although it seems challenging to go over this, a company with a vision will know this is an excellent future opportunity. Although you might not hire this candidate right away, you have a better chance of doing so if you make contact and keep following up on the lead. Ask them whether they will be open to a future position with another company rather than trying to sell them on your company. Avoid asking questions that can be answered with a simple no, like, quote, "Can I spark your interest in a development position with our company?" end quote. Instead, you should try, quote, "Would you be interested in hearing what our company has to offer for its developers?" end quote. Try saying, quote, "We're developing a solid development team, and we are hoping to bring it together over the next few months," end quote. You can follow up by asking, quote, "When we are prepared to begin the program, would you let me tell you what we're planning and see if it seems like something you'd be interested in?" end quote. Rather than, quote, "We're trying to employ someone for a role right now," end quote. You want to keep in mind that you want to turn prospects into real candidates that you submit and interview. On the first interaction, they may or may not happen. Take the chance to talk to them and continue to follow up with them, even if they aren't interested or in immediate need of your assistance. You'll develop a connection with them that'll be useful for future job openings down the line. Remember to take the time to ask the right questions of the potential candidate you might learn about. Ask the questions of the potential candidates you might learn about needs they weren't even aware they had or weren't initially willing to admit to. So if you like this video, just another friendly reminder to like, subscribe, click that bell. It really helps a fellow recruiter. If you have any questions or want to see more like it, feel free to drop down a comment below. Feel free to also follow me at Preston_Park as I try my best to also post behind the scenes content daily. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you on the next one.